Hello, everyone. Welcome. We're going to jump into a premiere draft of Kaladesh Remastered here. We're having, it's Friday. Normally we do a chat gauntlet. We are, the tech is not ready for us yet, though. So we are going to play in this draft while we await to see if the tech becomes ready, or if not, we'll just finish this one out and wait till next week before we gauntlet again. In any case, we got started on we really got the taste. I really looking forward to diving back in. It's funny, I didn't think I missed this format, but I've really enjoyed drafting it the couple of times I've drafted it now. We drafted it yesterday and started a couple drafts today, and I drafted it offline last night. And it really has whetted my appetite, and I'm actually pretty excited for this. It's good for Wizards because they're getting me to spend gems and gold on a format that does not lead towards standard play. I do want to call that out. If you are someone who is on Arena predominantly for limited and standard, you have to be careful of investing your resources into cards, into sets that don't produce collection building in standard. So just make sure you at least understand the value proposition you have and what the value of cards in the event are for you. For me, I'm mostly just about limited, and we have enough going on in our gems. Actually, this looks like, must not even be my main account. We have more than this on our main account. What account are we on? Oh yeah, this is the side account. I'm just going to stick with it, though. I'm not going to bother switching to my main account just for that. But it also is a reminder that I do run two accounts. I tend to play on my main account till I've got 4 wins, then I switch to a side account. I'm just going to switch the order today, and we'll play on the side account here, no problem. And if you want to switch to an order from an incredible place to get your physical Magic cards, that's cardkingdom.com. Switch to ordering from there, and you're going to find happiness on your tabletop game because they got everything you need for your tabletop Magic experience. Singles, sealed, supplies, all the S's. There's probably some other S's they have too that I haven't even thought of yet because they have so many things. Stuff. Sense of humor. Sell your cards to them for the best buy prices in the industry. Any other S's you can come up, they probably have, but I'm getting silly. Just remember to check them out via my affiliate link. It helps them know that you got there from here and helps keep me on the air. And that affiliate link is there in the chat. It's there in the panels down below, and it's in the notes of my YouTube videos. So thank you for all that. Now let's go ahead and jump in. Get to the draft view. Boom. Do you have a second account, Priceless? Sounds like you're someone who should make a second account. Then you could be playing this on some side account that you don't care about anyway. Gifted Etherborn. Pretty oppressive at the black, but 2/3 Death Touch Lifelink, no joke, no joke. Wisp Weaver Angel is the blinker we were talking about, right? Whenever it enters the battlefield, you may exile another target creature you control, then return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. This card is really fun, I gotta say. The Flicker Angel, it's just a 4/4 flyer, which is good, but you do so much. You can do so much nonsense shenanigans with the Angel that it's tempting. I think it's definitely between these two for me. If there was some good removal, that might put it on the list, but there's no good removal down here. This is like whatever. So I don't know. What do you think, gang? We got 12 seconds. I think I'm going to go with I'll go with the Angel because it's more shenanigan filled. Like, I actually think Etherborn's the correct pick, but this is the fun pick. And so we're going to try for a little bit of fun here, or at least start there. Got a Welding Sparks or an Onslaught as a second pick. I don't know if green-white is really a thing here. I never remember doing much green-white. Boros Equipment is a thing. I think this is probably a better removal spell than Sparks. But I think I like, well, yeah, Meltdown is also fine. Let's take a look at that. Flash, it's one of those things, you know, it's flash, so they attack. It's kind of it nullifies a creature and gets you some energy for sure, but I still like Sparks better. All of the removal that stays on stuff is just a little bit weaker because of that. And that's what Jinx was getting on about yesterday. You know, I want to call that out. Like, Jinx and I were seeing a little bit differently in terms of exactly where the enchantment removal landed in the set. But I do think he's totally correct that, you know, whenever you see this type of removal, it's somewhat of a bellwether type of card for the format, because enchantment-based removal gets wildly different results depending on the context of the format. There's some formats are filled with ways to unlock a creature from something like this. Some formats aren't, you know. So yeah, Chief of the Foundry is a reasonable build around here. We've got Pima Aetherseer, which is an uncommon, but it's kind of inconsistent. I've never really been super happy with this card, but Chief of the Foundry is reasonable build around. If we end up with a lot of servo stuff, which in red, in white especially you can, but red as well. But white especially is producing a lot of servos, so I do like the Chief pick here. Glimmer of Genius is a strong card to still be here. Filigree Familiar goes right along with our Chief and goes in any deck, though. And it also flickers decently. It's just a couple of life, but it's something. I think we take... I really love this Glimmer, and it's really kind of killing me to let somebody have it potentially 5th here. But the Familiar, given the Foundry, makes a lot of sense to me. Yeah, let's look at the Renegade as well. This has a lot of text on it, and it can be a little tough to take in. But basically, you get a ton of ether, and then you can ping stuff. So this is a totally legit pick as well. But I'm going to take the Familiar because we have the Chief, and it goes in literally any deck. Even if we didn't have the Chief, this goes in any deck. And that's strong for this point in the draft. Destructive Tampering, interesting. We are in best of one. There's a lot of artifacts in the format, so this almost always gets something, and then sometimes it's the last spell you cast before crashing in for the win. But there's also just a straight Pyrohelix, and there's a lot of small stuff in the format, so I think a Pyrohelix is fine. You can actually get legit 2-for-1s pretty reasonably off of this. Sometimes you're killing a real creature and 1 servo token, that kind of thing, but Pyrohelix plays well, and we do have a Welding Sparks already, so I'm in. Renegade Map. So here we go. This is the, there's a malfunction here if we wanted to dip into a third color for some removal. We're not married to this Angel. I don't even think of us as white right now, in fact. But between the Chief and the red, I like picking up the Renegade Map because this is also a 1-drop artifact that can power out improvise stuff. So this is a great improvise card, and it does replace a land in your deck if to a certain point. You can't replace all the lands in your deck, you know. You can't do it 5 times or whatever, but the first couple of Renegade Maps can count as land. So we're going to take that there. Enthusiast is interesting because it fabricates 2. It can make 2 servos for the Chief. And the only opportunity cost here is a whatever Infiltrator and a whatever Wingsmith, some whatever enchantments. I would play an Eager Construct in a Chief deck here. But Enthusiast is somewhat of a signal. So we're going to take it and see. Ice Over still here. Like, I acknowledge that again, these aura-based removals can really fluctuate their value, but Hinterland Drake is fine, Ice Over is fine, and Shipwreck Moray is even fine. So I am noting that there's a lot of strong blue here, but yeah, I think we can take Fireweaver. We are trying to kind of do the ETB artifact thing. So I don't love this card, but it's reasonable pack 1, pick 8 with our deck so far. And we kind of stake our territory here a little bit. Sky Skiff beat the crap out of me last night when someone managed to get 4 +1/+1 counters on it. But I don't love this, although the crew 1 is decent. And we do have a chief, so maybe we just take the skiff. But Artifact Killing Gremlin is more sideboard material. Rush of Vitality, not great. I'm going to take the skiff over the Reunion, basically. Don't love any of this. We could take an Inspector, but we're not going to, even if we end up in white, we're not playing the Inspector. I guess we're more likely to actually play a Precise Strike than anything here. You like... Yeah, I'm going to take the Precise Strike. Just cut some red from the pack. Doesn't matter too much, though. Select for Inspection is all... Again, it's okay. It's not amazing, but we're seeing a lot of blue. Feeling like maybe we missed the blue boat, or we should look for it on the way back. Bastion... Not great, but sometimes it's just like the biggest thing on the ground and is fine. This is nice to see. I'm going to take a second Pyrohelix over a spec on the Screecher. It's not amazing blue, but there was 3 pickable blue cards with like 6 cards left. That's something. It's not incredible quality, but it was good enough that it was at least something that struck out at me. Stuck out to me. Here's an Expertise. We played this in our first deck and didn't really resolve it ever. You just take a Fatal Push. No good red here. It's too bad, really. We know we're red and didn't find any. White and black. The Enthusiast really does... Yeah, we can take a second Angel, but what are we doing with it at that point, Jinx? Like... I would rather lean towards the black in this Enthusiast and take Expertise or Push. Yeah, Expertise really wrecks us, I think, so let's take Push. And let's cut the Angel for now. Hey, look, rewarded. This is a great reason to be in these colors. And another slight reward. This isn't amazing, but this is worth taking here over the Brawler, I think. I wouldn't mind a Brawler, though. We have a deck that can handle a Brawler. Speedway Fanatic, another of these Blink Angels. Oh, Invigorated Rampage. I lost... My opponent last night was racing me, and I thought they were nuts for racing me because I was clearly so far ahead. Then they went on their final turn of the game. They did the 3-mana spell to make all my stuff not be able to block, and then Invigorated Rampage and one other pump spell, and just got me for Xaxes. Yeah, we could take the Artifact, that's true, but I would we may end up with vehicles such that I would rather have the Hasty Boy. This is not any kind of great card, though. Fourth Angel. I love Era of Innovation decks. I think my favorite decks in the original format were ones where Era of Innovation was good in it. But yes, this is a decent one for us. Rummaging on Artifact ETB is fine. Nothing else really for us. Ooh, here's another good one for us. +2/+0 and Trample. I beat some people out of nowhere with this. Oh, Enthusiast, though. You're right, Jinx. Or Media, sorry. I saw the Gremlins and got excited, but we should take another Enthusiast. That's pretty good card for the blue-white deck. We have an Alley Strangler, which is okay, but 2 power menace for 3 is just like, I want it to attack for more. We can take a frontline Rebel if we felt we were going to be that aggressive. But at some point, this does become a liability. I'll take the Alley Strangler. It's close. Rebel can crew, that's true. And we have a Sky Skiff. We don't have much else or anything else, but got a couple of things that support vehicles in the Speedway Fanatic and, well, I guess just the Speedway Fanatic. We don't really have anything else supporting. I guess Chief supports vehicles by pumping them. Motorist, great card in the red-white, the Boros equipment decks, but we're fine with the Fretwork Colony. That's kind of what we're doing here. We're getting aggro, and this fits the bill. I don't think we're playing this, which actually means, like, look at our curve. I think we want to lean into this type of curve we got going. Stay low down. Built to smash fits the bill on that front. I'm out of coffee. Last sip. Bye, coffee. Ooh, I will go to 4 for this, although, look at, are we in the right lane or what? Salvager also really appealing for this type of deck, but we're going to take the Revolution. This is very late for Revolution to be here. 4 mana, deals 4 damage, and then taps and freezes their land. It stunts their mana for the next turn. It's really an annoying removal spell. Do we have any legends? That would be our prince, right? Wow, Brawler came back. Hello. Another smashy smash. I don't know if we're playing 2, but we'll take it. Maybe. If we get the creature density and not the removal density. The trouble with Smash is that in a deck like this, you end up wanting to run your black and red good creatures and then your good removal. Well, we are very far away from a Johnny Unyielding, so we're going to pass that along to some happy person down the road. We're probably just taking Poisoner here over another Helix. I guess we have 2 Pyro Helixes, so we'll happily take a Poisoner over. Maybe if we had a Weldfast Monitor on the wheel, we'd play this. I don't want to splash in this deck, no. We do have a Renegade map, and if we found like a couple of the, what do you call them? The 2 mana ETB draw card, then it filters colors, like, then you could see maybe doing it, but I think we don't want to, we'd rather just take a solid creature like the Poisoner. And then Hungry Flames is a snap pick. Loving this deck so far. You would take something other than the Hungry Flames? Scrapper Champ. Let's see what this does. I remember it being okay. Oh yeah, double strike. Enters the battlefield to get some energy, and when it attacks, you can put a +1/+1 counter on it. So it's like it attacks as a 3/3 double striker with no other help. that makes it certainly good enough here, especially with what are our other options. We get a Screecher or an Implement. Definitely the champ here. I find the Atog to be super high variance. But sometimes it's a must block, it's true. But when it's not must block, it's like it doesn't exist. That's my problem with it. But Trample Pump is a fair point. But it's like, if it's an artifact creature. It's not an artifact creature, right? We're talking about a red Atog, right? Die Young, though, we can play. Take Hijack. Are we sacking enough? I don't think we're doing anything to sack, though. Take a Die Young. Another Ether Torch Renegade. But look, there's a Welding Spark. And here, Prophetic Prism is the one I was trying to come up with. This is cute, but we're just going to take another Welding Sparks. All the Pyrohelixes we could ever want. And the thing is, with the removal we're picking up, we really don't want more than 2. At most, we play 2. So we're going to pass that along and just take a Monitor. I don't know if we're playing that either. Definitely not playing Precise Strike. Probably not playing both Smashes. Probably not playing this Puzzle Knot. It's not bad, it's just not good enough with what we've got going on here. I don't know about this Sky Skiff. Don't think we're playing this. Another Revolution. I think we are playing that. Trouble is, we're getting to that spot with high removal decks that I was talking about yesterday. It's still easy to lose with a ton of removal if you don't have the card draw to then win an attrition battle that comes from that. So, a Crusher or a Cobra. I think I'll take a Crusher as a possibility. I don't think we're playing either. Another Pyrohelix, more vehicles I don't want, and another Monitor that I probably won't play, but I'll take it, put it in the board. Did I miss something? Oh yeah, Monitor, yeah. I took it. We don't have a Tampering yet, right? I'm not going to play a third Smash. I'll take one of these and think about it. Maybe we will. You say play them all, Rob. You know, we have a lot of cards here, so we're going to have to figure out our playables. Definitely going 16 in this one. And then we actually, if we leave the Renegade map in for the Brawler, we could cut more land, but probably just cut the map here and accept that the Brawler won't always be just a turn 3 improvised play. Let's look at our overall numbers. 13-13 kind of suggests look out for spells to cut, like maybe we cut a Reunion. Although I was saying, like, I kind of want to cut a Pyrohelix over a Reunion, because Reunion is the type of thing that gives us some card draw to make our removal advantage matter. We do have Sky Skiff, and yes, this isn't. Speedway says not so good with no vehicles, but it is a 2-power hasty 2-drop with no drawback. It's got no drawback other than having 1 toughness, if you consider that like a grizzly bear drawback. So yeah, this isn't great, but I'm not cutting creatures here. We're a 13-12 split. I really want to find our least good non-creature spell. Might even be Fatal Push. But that's funny. Thank you so much for the sub. Yeah, let's get rid of Built to Smash. I agree. We're going to clear the way with removal, not by pumping up our creature. And then this looks reasonably decent. Little light on creatures, but heavy enough on removal that we can get away with it. And then really got to remember to hold a couple of lands to cathartic them away and draw some gasoline. We can talk about adding in a Weld Fast. That's fair. But what do we cut? What do you want to cut for that? Here, I can get to here for you. Skiff? Yeah, maybe we let the Skiff go. Again, the Speedway Fanatic is not about crewing, it's about being 2-power at the 2-drop. Media loves the Skiff. What do you want to cut? Oh, Media doesn't like the Cathartic Reunion. I really think we need it, Media. I have a lot of fails with decks like this because you go, oh, look at this, I got 2 revolutions, 2 welding sparks, a hungry flames, disintegration, pyrohelix, die young, and like I'd rather cut the die young even, like that may be the removal we don't need, or the other pyrohelix. Pyrohelix can be tricksy though. I kind of like the pyrohelix, so I think I'm gonna do that, and we can put the Skiff back in. That's fine. Rob says Skiff is bad. Hammer says Skiff is leave the Skiff. Media says Skiff is so good. Well, let's start with the Skiff and keep an eye on it. Rob says bad. Rob, what do you want in instead? What's your... If you don't want the Skiff, make your call right now for what you'd put in instead so you can think about it when we draw it. If you speak in not English, I'm going to time it out because I don't know what it says, and I cannot properly moderate my own stream if people are saying things in languages I don't speak. So, English only, or I will be muting your speech because I don't speak it. Hey, Chimero. Anyway, I'm going to run this, but you all personally can decide if you're not running the Skiff, what you decide. Sky's the limit. You got lucky, Jinx. You got lucky. Although we're on a side account that doesn't necessarily have a bunch of lands, so I'll show you what we got. So you got lucky but unlucky. Ooh, that's cool. I don't know. What is that? Whatever. That's my new default sleeves for this account. You want... Wait here. So you're talking about these? I think I got to go to the store to get those. You want those? Which ones? We'll go... Or is it... You want dealer's choice on those? Tower Mountain... Tower Mountain. Swamp I can choose. Adam Paquette. Well, it's kind of a towery swamp. Let's double up on the tower action. Two Paquette swamps to choose from. What do you know? All right. What do you think? What's our average win rate going to be on this one? I'll get all this sorted out. I think the deck is strong, but has that heavy removal potential problem where we remove a bunch of stuff and then lose anyway. We can keep this, though. We'll go Fanatic here, max the damage. We're a little artifact light. I think we're leaning a lot on those two uncommon black 3-drops that make 2 of them. I'm going to go Monitor here. We can go Fireweaver to try and get damage out of the Monitor, but I'd rather just put a 3 power on board after I attack. Colorless Historic Storm. Boy, I'd probably do that for free. That sounds awesome. Hungry Flames. I really would love to 2-spell here. Going Colony and Fireweaver would be dreamy. But we also kind of want to kill this while we can. One argument... Yeah, it allows us to attack with the Fanatic, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Hammer says we can wait a turn. It's true, we could wait a turn. What does that get us, though? I'm just gonna... I don't want to mess around. I'm gonna get it dead. Gets a lot of damage in. Turtle? Brawler doesn't have haste, no. Has improvise and menace. This can't block our ground creatures. Oh, can't block artifact creatures. Sorry, I thought this was a high flyer. Okay, but it can't block the Monitor, so that's good. Could activate the Monitor, and then they can't chump with the Turtle. Although if they chump with the Turtle, I think we're okay with that. So I think I go ahead and offer the Monitor no activation, and say go ahead and chump if you want. And then I like Fretwork Colony and Fireweaver so that we get the colony growing. Weldfast certainly overperforms how it looks, right, Rob? I don't know. You seem a little higher on it than I am, but I absolutely acknowledge that this overperforms how it looks. Right now it looks dead, but... Cardboard Live is open. What it supports, you tell me. the artifactness matters and the menace matters a lot more than it might seem at first blush. Like we've seen, you know, Rob, there was that card. I know there was a card in some like core set that was basically 2 in a red for a 3/2 red menace full stop, and that was pretty good. Yeah, Oppo's now putting down stuff to cause us trouble, and we're flooding. Maybe I should hold in case we draw Cathartic here. And we're certainly at the top of our curve. Thank you, Jinx. I got there just in time. But we don't have anything to do but pass and hope we find some removal, or ideally the Cathartic Reunion. That would be great. Eventually, the Fretwork Colony gets big enough to attack too. But this Hydra... It's effectively a 5/4 right now, but actually you can activate it twice, so it's effectively a 6/5. Boy, things have turned a corner away from us. Like, we were all over it, and now it's like, oops. Although that's cool, we can go wide here. Weave some fire. We got a long way to go before the Fretwork Colony just is the Abyss, because right now they have double blocks that would get it. They have single blocks that would get it with the Hydra, so we're kind of waiting on the Fretwork Colony. They're taking a risk now and starting to attack. I get it. I hope we draw some removal and punish. That's obviously crappy for us, and is a place where this is even better than regular removal. But we're gonna do what we can here. I think that kind of probably just killed us. That was Plan A. Plan A has gone from Plan A is win the game with Colony to now Plan A is actually win the game with Colony, but for our opponent instead of us. At least Poisoner gets something. Like, they can't... Neither of these blocking works. I mean, it kills it, but then we kill one of those big blockers. Do we have any self-sacrifice? Let's see. I don't think so. Unlicensed disintegration. No, that doesn't sack anything. Weldfast engineer doesn't. Yeah, we don't have anything that lets us take this off the table by ourselves. F you, deck. Come on. Oh, here I gotta switch views to complain. But it's not a stalemate. It's us slowly... And it's not even a stalemate. Oppo's attacking us for 4 points a turn. Well, yes, Rob, we can... we can cast our own removal spells on the colony. I was just saying, is there something that allows us to sacrifice it for value, not something that allows us to use our premium removal spells on our own targets? Fine. Jesus. H. Christo. What the F? Little salt to start the day. That was absurd. We have a 16 land deck with a Cathartic Reunion to handle Flood and got just worked over. Whatever, deck. Whatever. Why do we play this game again? All right, we're gonna keep and hope we find just 1 or 2 more land. Yeah, 3-2 rummage guy. A lot of ways we could get out of it. Hello, Roginski. Were you our opponent just now, or were you just saying hello independently from that? I didn't notice my opponent's username or anything. There's the cathartic reunion we were looking for last time. Well, nice stabilization and comeback, but we flooded out hard. We had a million ways to finish you off, but instead we're like, how about nothing but land for the rest of this game? Little bit tilted, actually. And now, of course, let's have the opposite problem here. I'm gonna ditch this revolution and look for land. I mean, you just gotta. Oh, I need to ditch 2 things. So then, actually, the push. We got the engineer. I guess we get rid of one of these 2. And I'm gonna get. Yeah, I guess the engineer at least works on the chief, so we can get rid of the monitor. Engineer can come down next turn and pump the servo, but really want to play the colony so we can get it going faster, or we can do chief. Yeah, these are all options. Let's see what we draw. Swamp says we could do fatal push up with either of these, and we can't really 2-spell off the colony right now, so I'm going to go ahead and try weld fast, because it actually produces more damage than the chief by +2ing the servo. So let's try this. See if it gets countered. No? Thank you for the sub, Tongo. How is Chief then Engineer more damage? If this lives, this is a 3/3 attacking and adding. Maybe I'm missing the math, Rob, but I don't see it. My math might be bad. I acknowledge that's always possible. This case, we get to 2-spell with Colony and Chief, or Colony and Monitor. We're gonna go Monitor and Colony here. We can send Poisoner. We definitely offer that trade. Yeah, we'd even offer the Servo plus Fatal Push. So I think Jinx is right that we just swing away, see if they want to block it all. And that's going to mean 1 spell more, though. I really want to get this colony going. But I think, yeah, I think Jinx is right. We still got to monitor it up. Well, let's do this and Colony, and then if we draw land, we can start rummaging. Fanatic can't even attack through a druid now, so I'm going to go ahead and chief and loot it away, even though it's technically action. It's not action that does anything right now. All right. Jeez. Well, I'm going to attack and then probably just play the Fanatic. I mean, it does help us get wide. If I had another artifact to guarantee a loot or something, I might hold it, but we don't know that we're going to be able to rummage this away, so might as well drop it. Brawler. So, interesting, by casting the Druid, we now do get some value out of a Fanatic attack. And I would also trade Colony for Thopterist and one of those things. I think we just basically swing away, except maybe not with the Poisoner. I don't think I want to trade Poisoner for a 1/1 flyer, but and maybe we even do. Do we care? Like, we send in, if they trade for this, trade for this, trade for this, we get in for 3. Then, like, that's too much trade. Yeah, I think we should only send the Colony now. Maybe the Fanatic to offer it. But no, I think just the Colony. Unfortunately. This was a pretty good stabilization play for Oppo. But this takes a couple of blockers away, and we add a Menace 3/3, so if we can keep finding some action, this is fine. We've already used our Cathartic, right? So I don't need to hold lands, but we do have Rummage for holding land. Another one? Come on! What is going on? What is my life? Why did I pick Premier? I want to beat up on some noobs. This is not an instant. But we can kill the... Yeah, kill the 2/2 or the 1/3. Trouble with killing the 2/2 is then the Druid plus 2 Thopters takes out the Brawler. But if we take out the 2/2, then I'm just getting Thopterist and one of the flyer. That's fine. That's fine. And yeah, I like... Maybe the Poisoner's not really doing anything. We should just go ahead and pick off one of the flyers to help other stuff get through. I kind of like this attack for now. I don't want to offer the Genius yet, so I'm going to send these. I know this wasn't much value for the Poisoner, but... Well, there you go. Like, at least got something off the battlefield. But this is one of the more powerful bombs at Uncommon. This is like one of your mythic Uncommons for the set. So I guess we're going 0-2. Jesus. I'm going to quit early. I'm feeling real grumpy about how it's going so far. Well, we can technically crew an attack with this. It takes it would trade for one of their flyers, but probably need to do that. I'm kind of in whatever land here. I feel like we've already lost. Maybe I'm not... Maybe I'm just helping make that true by not playing as tightly as I could here. Send Brawler. Then we're trading Brawler for a 2-2. I don't know. I think I want to wait for... I mean, we have removal. We're stacked with removal. Where is our removal? We use this one. Yeah, I'm feeling a little tilty, it's true. Gotta own it, though. It's frustrating. This deck is good, and it's just being embarrassed. But that... no. I mean... I don't... If we trade Skiff for their flyer and Brawler for their flyer, nobody has any flyers, right? I don't know where we get the flyer that they don't have in your line. Maybe you could have sent the Brawler alone trying to trade for a flyer so that our Skiff gets through. That might have been a way to do it. Tusker's an absolute bomb, and now it's a bomb they can replay. So unless we get removal for the Tusker right now, I'm going to scoop up Bitterly and move on. Okay, we did get removal, but we have to wait until they activate to return it. Annoying, but right now they just have 4 mana save target creature. Magic gods want me to keep playing, it seems. Yeah, Dave, I've been talking about that. Like, we have a lot of great one-for-one removal, but if you generally don't have the card draw to go along with your great one-for-one removal, it can come up short often. All it takes, if you're winning or losing based on your powerful removal, well, what happens when you draw slightly less removal than their good creatures, right? It just happens, and then you're like, ugh. Well, we can play this and at least rummage away the swamp. Perhaps 2 swamps. Let's see. Here's the first. I'm telling you, I'm in the damn Matrix. Well... good thing we did that. Good thing. So now we could go for Brawler, take out Flyer. I think with them down to 1 card and these not doing too much, although I guess they get... well, they get that anyway, right? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and send Brawler. Yeah, we got a couple of swamps out of the way. I mean, that's actually good, so... I mean, of course, it's a 50% chance Radiantware. Either we are in the Matrix, or we're not. 50-50. Duh. I don't need to read an article. Now what? We could get in for 2, bring him to 3, but that's not enough to do anything. So we'll say no attacks and continue to lament. Oh, here comes the flood. Looks like Oppo's getting their share of lands too, though. We're both kind of bricking here, it seems. Come on, top deck. Okay, 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 okay. Seems real. Oh yeah, this is reality. I'm sure we're in reality right now. Feels so totally real. I think the chances just went up to at least 83%. Now do we just play it out? I think I play it out. If we find another artifact to rummage again, we probably want the extra mana to cast something. But, you know, let's see. We've got 5 lands left and 16 cards, so we're still like 42% to draw a land. We haven't even flooded, technically. We're just drawing a lot of our deck. $12 cards left to their 16. All right. All right, now that's what I'm talking about. Was this so hard, deck? Is this so hard? That's fine. They can return it to their hand. I want it out of the way. All right, everybody's got a hungry flame. Everybody's got a hungry flame. Let's see, wait, we can get... Yeah, they still got the 4, so they can save it and we won't deal the 2, but this should still be lethal. Could... Oh yeah, it will still do it, right? Yeah, yeah. Even if it'll still have a target. I was thinking that taking away this target would fizzle the spell, but it has a legal target, so it'll still do everything it can. All right, it was all being all salty, but we still found the win. Classic Spain. Just ask my buddy Chris. Stop complaining before you win. But it's also the fact that I complain, or, you know, I can feel it and get a little salty in a game that's not lost is just, it's all about my focus on the board state that sometimes is to my own detriment, right? Sometimes I focus so much on the board state that I'll miss lethal, that kind of thing. But that's also why I'll get mad at a game that's not lost. It's just because I'm looking at what's happening in the moment. But I am happy to pick up that win. Nice to not start 0-2 here. I think the deck is fine to good, so he's going to be really surprised by 0-2. Yeah, the rummage was huge, huh? All right, we can keep this and hope for any kind of land coming up. Come on, deck. Don't leave us on 2. Any land in the next couple of draws, please. Your choice. Your choice. Not even going to be picky. All right, deck. Thank you very much. Hope of Girapur, not great, but I suppose if you're like really curve out aggro and you have artifact stuff going on, you could do worse, but it's not great. It's really was a plant for constructed to stop like counter spells, but oh, Skiff, you're just a little late. Little late on the Skiff. Annoying. However, I like, we can go Enthusiast, and then Chief creates some 4-power attacking next turn. And I don't see anything I want to Hungry Flames yet, so I like that. I know the Chief makes these bigger, but I'm willing to offer a servo for the Poisoner or some sort of trick. I think we should call them on this. Yeah, so it looks like Oppo is just going hyper aggro here. I want our Pyro Helix. Pyro Helix would be bonkers against this. As it is, we could just kill the Infiltrator and deal 2. We could play the Fanatic and threaten blocks. Chief means Infiltrator just gets through. So maybe don't want to do that. Hungry Flames is an instant. We could let them get started. Exemplar becomes... I think we just go Chief, and we take a hit from the Infiltrator this turn. And then the Servo threatens the Exemplar. Maybe they won't read their own Infiltrator, too. You never know. Oh, they read their Infiltrator. Too bad. This thing is usually way too clunky to be any good, but if the game goes long, it can do some work. In this case... I think I like a Speedway Fanatic and a Sky Skiff? I don't know. At some point, we just got to kill the Infiltrator, or we take too much damage, but then Speedway could represent blocking it. So, and it uses all our mana. I'm going to do that. And try to address the Infiltrator with a creature I don't care too much about. Means I could of course crew the Skiff and attack with it with the Fanatic. That's kind of the combo, but I want the Fanatic to block, so could send the Foundry. I don't want to put it in harm's way, and they don't have the tools to block it here, so let's at least get a couple in from the Foundry. Yeah, that is a Steampunk Bartender, you're right. If they kill the Fanatic, they're going to get us to at least 11, and then the Whirler Maker starts to make me nervous in terms of them getting wide enough to just get us dead. We got to start finding our own attacks here. Oh, I neglected to read the first strike part. Well, So maybe I'm wrong, but we can actually make the sky skiff eat that. Right? So we can do that. We can even crew the skiff. I think I'm going to throw the enthusiast in front of the infiltrator and save some damage and try to eat the exemplar. I think Oppo forgot that Chief made our skiff bigger. Fine by me. Now I'm going to go ahead and kill this infiltrator and pin down a land. Fanatic to trade. Oh, on the... so I got distracted by the first strike. I kind of, didn't do the plan I intended because I got... Suddenly, forgetting the first strike threw me off a little bit there. That's why. But we'll go ahead and do this now. And Fanatic, no, it has haste. And now, actually, I'm going to crew with the Fanatic because our other ones block better on the ground. This does let them attack in the air for a couple, but we do start to approach race winning here, especially with the Hungry Flames in hand that does an extra couple to their face. Almost the dream draw would be our Fatal Push, because then we could Hungry Flames and Fatal Push, or Weld Fast Monitor and Fatal Push. Remove one of their creatures while adding to our board. That would help us with the race. All right, they're probably going to go wide with that, which is too bad. And the go wideness of this format, this fabrication that happens, is why 1-for-1 removal is less good in the format. So many things just spit out extra 1/1s that you basically just got to imagine, what is the world, how good is this card if there's a bunch of 1/1s floating around? All right, got some land. Could allow us to 2-spell next turn at least. And the thing is, like, we can't just sit back or we end up losing to Whirler Maker. So I feel like we go Monitor. And then Skiff up with the Chief, which I don't intend to block with ever. And then, oops, keep sending with Flyers. I know we're at a risky race situation here, but I don't know what else to do. The Whirler Maker is just good enough at a long game that I don't think we can push for one. We gotta see if we can win this in a shorter game, even if it's taking some risk to do so. I'm not even doing full like combat math risk, but you know, this is just devastating. And it's the vigilance that makes it devastating. If they had to tap these creatures to attack with, this wouldn't even be that bad. It's the fact that they get free attacks that's so devastating. If they commit to this attack, we've got to put Fanatic. Okay, well, we're doing this. And this, and this, or we could do, let's see. So we can do this block and take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could also throw a 2/2 on this and take 8, but have one more creature for next turn. But I think 6 with this dead is going to be best, and then we can Hungry Flames the Eagle and keep back the Skiff. And not be super dead. We'd like either a land or a 2-drop off the top. All right, there's the land. We're going to take out this eagle right quick. And we can monitor. We can actually send in the Weldfast if they don't. I mean, they either chump or they got to give up their whole squad. Could even send in the Foundry and say, do you want to give up 2 creatures to get rid of the Foundry? But Foundry then can equip the Skiff and keep defense on the Flyers. So I'm going to go ahead and swing Monitor and play Monitor.
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
Ah, come on! Brutal. Brutal, brutal. Eagle comes back, or a 2-drop, one of the two. Ah, my. Need some more of that sweet removal action now. Or we need to just try to get there with Skiff in a couple of attacks, and then they just start using Whirler Maker to defend our Skiff? I don't know. Okay, Welding Sparks is pretty big game. Now we can go... they're at 6. If we go Sparks, Menace, Menace... they basically have to block both or they lose. So let's do that. Oh, don't do that to me, Auto Tapper. Rob says, wait. I'm just doing it, Rob. Maybe I'm... I gotta make sure I don't do something that lets them crack back for the win, though, I suppose. They chump the air. They can't take both on the ground. They could chump... yeah. I don't see any issue with this. I don't... they currently can't crack back for the win, is the main thing here. Ah, Rob wanted to hold for the blowout. Maybe. Trying to make this Whirler Maker too slow. All right. That was not an easy one, but we got there. Glad you're all here. My viewing audience is a little smaller than it sometimes is. I'm wondering if there's is the Magic channel, is there something high level happening today that I don't know about? What am I up against? Magic Online Championship? Again with the no 2 yet, but we're gonna keep this. Two drop off the top besides Cathartic Reunion would be amazing. No luck on the 2, but I'm not going to fire off a Cathartic Reunion here. We're going to try and hold this to get rid of later lands. This is one of the more powerful cards in the format, and we are snapping that off without a second thought. A lot of great uncommons in the sets, and this is one of them. You let this go unchecked and you just lose. No land. Let's go with the familiar. And then we got some options next turn. Although, actually, let's go Genius. And then we can play one of our artifact creatures next turn and potentially rummage away like the Cathartic Reunion. We could do that. Given that it's charity, David, I'd be happy to do the Desert Bus. That'd be fun. All right, let's go Monitor, and then we have Foundry next turn. Looks like Oppo is stuck on... Well, actually, no, wait, we were on the play, right? So they might not be stuck. Never mind. Yeah, they are not. Oh, wow. Well... Scary as heck. Also, it gets a counter right away that's going to make the Revolution not work on it. We could just Revolution the Screecher, though, pin down the black and hope hope they don't find anything to crew it. I'm going to do that. Maybe I'm being a little... Maybe I should just race. We could also just drop the Chief or even the Filigree and then next turn Chief and try to do it that way. But also, if we draw a land, next turn we get, like, Cathartic Reunion and a... Jinx wants to kill their guy. Yeah, trouble is, racing is tough if we don't kill the guy, because then they attack for 3 and probably send the Untethered. I'm going to go with the... Also, we do get to stop their... Keep down their... Currently, their only source of black... See, I like racing here too, and I think casting the Revolution is racing. Playing the land, we can go Weldfast Engineer. Again, this is the same similar situation. What gives us the most long-term damage? I think the Weldfast Engineer getting 2 in for sure right now is pretty good. Ideally, basic land next turn, we play it. We play Chief and Filigree, and then have Cathartic hanging out, looking a little silly right now. But this is more of a long game play. This is giving us a chance to win a long game, but of course then you draw it early, and it runs against your attempt to make it a short game. So, it's tough. But we are showing them that we can race here, right? I think Oppo is trying to figure out if they can win a race, or maybe they're trying to figure out what to do with their sweet removal, which one to kill. Filigree helps with the race too. A little incidental life gain there. 2 life doesn't suck. Ah. Well, this is getting more and more oppressive, harder and harder to race. Yeah, exactly. Like, but what is our option besides racing that thing? I mean, if this were an instant, that could be nice. But at this point, we gotta like hope that they just don't have a another creature. I guess we go familiar and block, and we gain life, and we would take, let's see, it becomes 7, 6, 5. We still take 5, though, on the trample, but we go to 6, so we're not dead in that case. Yeah, Demolition, of course, is in the deck. Oh, I hadn't used it yet. Yes, have not used it yet. We could Cathartic Reunion looking for that Demolition, knowing that it's kind of our only hope. I kind of like Cathartic Reunion ditching Chief and Revolution looking for Demolition. I think that's our only hope. And then we can Familiar it as a desperation move after that if this doesn't work. That's what I mean. Unlicensed destruction. I don't know what I was saying, but I meant like unlicensed destruction is actively what I'm looking for. Yes. What was I saying? Oh, demolition. They're both. Yeah. So we have two spells that kill this. We can Pyro Helix to get rid of their crewer, but likely they can find something else to crew with. And the trouble is, if they attack and trample, that's going to be enough. So even though I'm going to assume that they were probably going to have something here to recrew, and what we need to do is gain some life. And then the question is, do we leave this back to block just in case? The thing is, if they get rid of this, yeah, we got to swing, right, Jinx? I mean, we are very, there's some things that happen here that make us lose on the spot, but we can't really play around them. We've got to try to get them dead somehow, some way before we are. Well, this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Of course, trouble is we have to chump here. Our path to dealing 9 next turn is non-existent. Our path to killing the Untethered Express next turn and therefore not dying is quite live. We have a couple of ways to accomplish that. Yeah, that could be it. Yeah, I think we're just dead if they figure it out. So we're kind of dead to a creature no matter what is the problem. But, yeah. Well, we lost to 1 card and 1 card only, and then we lost to our deck not giving us one of our removal spells for it. That card is so dumb on curve. It really is. That train. Yeah, they didn't need it. Maybe they did that math, but you're right, Hat. All right, well, we're split 2 and 2. I didn't even see the results of the par poll, but I certainly would have given this above 3. This would have been like a 4, at least on my par poll. Yeah, I like that we identified our outs and did our best to play to them. It just didn't work out. Well, looks good if we can keep our stuff alive. Fireweaver on 2. Any land gets us to, like, Weaponcraft on 3 into Chief on 4, attacking for a bunch. Sparks for any pesky things that show up on the other side. And we got our 3rd land. Oh, Fretwork. I'm going to go Fretwork first, and then maybe Filigree. I'd like to get the Fireweaver down before the Enthusiast, but Fretwork you need to get going right away. Jinx says Weaver's better. I'm on grow this immediately. They're showing some pausing here. Does it have anything else? Oh yeah, they can sacrifice to draw a card, so that explains the pause now. And we're gonna go Familiar ahead of Foundry, or we could just say Fireweaver not getting the Enthusiast triggers isn't the end of the world, and just play it out anyway ahead of Chief. Although Familiar as a 3/3 can attack through something like a Druid on defense. So I'm going to go Familiar, use all our mana. We got to leave some sort of value. Well, we're leaving value in hand, but you got to leave something in hand, Jinx. I'm trading the value of Fireweaver damage for the value of Colony damage for the value of using all our mana. There's all sorts of value in discussion here. This is scary as heck, but we're actually close to being able to burn it out. I'm going to go ahead and play the Enthusiast for no Fireweaver value now so that we get 2 more artifacts on the table, and then next turn we can Welding Sparks the Cavalry. Jinx with the reasonable takes as always. I didn't play this, therefore I should just cut it? Come on. I know, you gave me the lull. You gave me the lull. I stand by all of my decisions so far. I wouldn't change a thing. Enough. Well, I wouldn't change a thing, but obviously not great for us there. How do we recover from this? Probably, let's see, if we scrap our champ, we can get this to something that can trade, but we need to attack. That means we got to take 2 more attacks from that. Ay, ay, ay. Maybe we play Foundry doesn't trade. This is all pretty bad, gang. All pretty bad. I guess we go Foundry, take 6, and then next turn block with Familiar and try to finish it with Welding Sparks. Yikes. Not great. Looks like a 2-3 on some really unfortunate results. I want to untime out Jinx. I just wanted to make that one comment go away, but now I can't figure out. Maybe it's over here. How can I untime out Jinx? I want Jinx back. Oh, thanks, Hat. Good game, John Burr. That was a tight one. This one, less tight. This one, we're getting utterly blown out by bombs. Bombs are blowing us out. We can at least kill the Marauder, so they gave us that. And that means we're not completely dead. Purge? Sure. I'm going to do this before they can untap and do something I'm not expecting. And like I said, we're not dead, but we are certainly mostly.
Is only mostly dead.
Yeah, ironically, they moved the counters here to give them a clean attack in the air, but it actually let us live. Well, that's unnerving. Probably means we are dead to pump of some kind. But I don't think we can play around it to the point that I think we have to put Familiar on the Constrictor and the Foundry on the Druid. And then like I say, it feels like they're doing something that sets us up for dead. But I don't see how double blocking the Cavalry is going to be better for us than at least, you know, if we're playing like they don't have it, this is the right block, right? Really, still giving us chances here. We now have Pyrohelix Welding Sparks. We even have Poisoner Welding Sparks. We can't make an artifact here. So maybe the correct play is to not get greedy, Sparks Helix, kill this thing dead, and just try to get stable the turn after. Because, like, we could play Poisoner. It's a Death Toucher, but it's got Trample, right? Like, it's just too much risk. So we're going to go ahead and start... Yeah, but Death Toucher, like, Trample is not enough with the Trample. And you put yourself dead to their removal. So even if this didn't have Trample, I would still do it this way. Let's 2-spell here so that we have 2 blockers. Yeah, Oppo's attack where we thought we were kind of dead and said, let's play like they don't have anything, and then they didn't have anything was very surprising. It felt like that was not the right attack then. Do we Speaking of attack, start attacking. I guess we could play like a genius, but we don't have anything to rummage yet. I guess we just do Scrapper Champ, but I will send in the Poisoner. Although maybe I need to save Poisoner in case they play a big green thing that we need to block. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about the Druid. Never mind. We're going to save Poisoner for defense, and we're going to see about getting a double striker going. Yeah, we could make a servo if we attacked, but I don't think that's worth it. Although now it could be with the Weldfast Engineer. It didn't seem worth it before, but Weldfast Engineer says making a servo could be worth it here. So let's start there. Attacking and double striking and making a servo. Is the energy better for the Scrapper? I don't know what you mean. Like, we have energy for both. So let's go Sweatworks Brawler. And then with a land draw next turn, we might get 2 spells. You wouldn't save energy for Scrapper. Y'all don't like double striking 3 power? I do. I like double striking 3 power. Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. I do like having the go wide, though, especially with the Engineer in hand that can make this 3 power as well. You can even send this now. We're going to have 2 blockers. I think we're safe with 2 blockers. And with this attack, they're forced to really chump one of our big boys anyway. I don't know what sweepers I'm playing around, but I'm going to play this in case of hasty that I don't understand. Like, I don't want to die to, like, removal and haste or something. I don't know what haste is in black and green, but they both have haste as tertiary. Yeah, I guess the -3/-3 sweeper was the thing to play around, and then potential haste that I don't even know if the set was what I did play around. All right, that was a pretty good comeback. I was I was ready for 2-3 end of event, but Oppo kind of misplayed us back into the game there, I think. I don't take as much credit there as I do for just sticking it out and giving our opponent a chance to make some errors. So yeah, Henny or some Oval Chase Dragster and a creature. But I guess it was Yahenni plus removal that could have gotten them a random win out of nowhere there. Yeah, but can't Yahenni get bigger? Creature and opponent controls? Because I was saying if they needed a removal and. So if they play Yahenni, remove one of our creatures, it goes to 3, boom, right? We've got Fabricate and Monitor. We don't have the red for this yet. I'm going to be greedy and keep, though. I don't know. Maybe I'm being greedy, but I'm feeling it. I'm never punished, right? I expect a mountain on top. Why wouldn't I? What? Ridiculous. This is the worst draw in our deck, though. Oh, I get your joke. I didn't understand the joke. Now I get the joke. There's the mountain. A touch late. Do we want to just kill this thing? This is really annoying. It's going to make a 1-1 servo. We could just flames it. If not, what are we playing? Like, we could play Weaponsmith as a 2-3 and threaten to eat the Chaser. But I really want to go wide with this deck in the Chief, so I am going to Hungry Flames this thing. Sign of Respect. Ether Chaser is real good. Ether Chaser is a kind of a mission-critical red aggro card in the format. I would so, like, this would be so much better for us than a Speedway Fanatic. Like, I'm playing this Fanatic because of Curve, but oh my god, would this be better. Daredevil Dragster. Interesting there as well. Let's go Monitor. No, I'm gonna go Enthusiast, go wide. Crew 2 here. Infiltrator is a little clever crew card, right? Whenever it becomes tapped. So it deals damage by crewing. That's kind of the joke of this card. The design joke. Hey, I was just thinking about you with these dudes. And we could go Monitor Chief, but yeah, let's go Chief Speedway in this case. We can always chump here. Oh, I meant in back-to-back turns, like deciding whether to play Chief this turn or Monitor this turn. Not that I was going to do both of those that turn. All right, now we'll go ahead and save 4. Fireweaver is super annoying because we had an attack with the Fanatic until it showed up. As it is, we can still send and have a decent Monitor play after, and at least Fanatic threatens to block the Infiltrator. So not the worst result, but we are, you know, pushing this race here best we can. I guess I could have held the mountain. If we draw Cathartic Reunion, I would have wanted to pitch it. My feeling was we eventually want 2 red sources, so I played it without thinking. But I suppose if we literally draw Cathartic, I would have been willing to pitch the 2 lands, so maybe I should have held it. Fanatic could have hasted up the Monitor. Yeah, it only hastes things that it crews, and this is not a vehicle. Well, that's a lot of fire weaving. Now any artifact is a lightning bolt to our face, just so. Yeah, we definitely hold lands from now on. My point is that I should have even held it last turn. Actually pretty happy to get to 3 wins here. If we split this 3-3 at this point, I'd be okay with that. I think the deck is a little better than that, but I'm just happy to have made it to even. And now we have to decide, and we really don't have the time to not block this. We gotta take only 1 and trade. This is a tough spot, but we're going to be taking damage in the air. We just can't take an extra 4 and go to 4. That's not realistic. We got to find a way to win the next turn in that case. Still pretty darn dead. I'll give you a mostly again.
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
And, you know, the huge problem here is actually not that just these Fire Weavers bolt us on any artifact. It's that we can't attack our 2 power through them. That's going to get us more than anything. Although if Oppo is out of artifacts, we at least we have like a couple of turns to try and find a way to kill the skiff. But they block everything. We have literally 0 attacks. So I strongly think this is where it's coming to an end, because we just have too many things to beat and not enough tools to beat them. So we actually were on a 2-turn clock with Infiltrator crewing the skiff. And instead, we're actually literally just super dead. Wow. Well, gang, 3-3. Hard to complain too much about that. We did have an exciting comeback at least as well. I just think that deck was pretty good. I'm sad about a 3-win with that deck. We'll take our gems and lick our wounds, but little better variance luck, and we could have gotten a few more wins out of that one. Took some variance hits, but there you go. Yeah, Hat, you wasted it on that silly result. Let us see now. I know we're going to be rating Loading Ready Run today for the charity stream they're doing. See if we got anything to open here. Not really. And yeah, I think I'm going to call that. That could have done better. Had some fun though. And unfortunately, we didn't get to Gauntlet today. I missed gauntleting with you all, but easy way to save my hair, I suppose. Just not play. Not our fault, though. We are waiting for an update to mtgadraft.herokuapp.com for us to get going back on that. And maybe I'll reach out to Marshall, and I want to see if Marshall will do a gauntlet with us on some Tuesday when we hand off. Not next Tuesday. I want to give them a little time to think about it, and also give people around here a chance to queue up for that. I'll give you more notice than 2 days or whatever. But I will talk to Marshall about that and see about getting him after my hair, you know? And maybe we could do pickup potentially as well. Anyway, I'll let Marshall know about that, and we will see him on Tuesday. You all have an amazing weekend, please. And we'll get you on Monday. I'm going to say goodbye to YouTube friends, of course, right now, and then we're going to do our rating. So bye, YouTube. Thanks for hanging out for that one. Have a great weekend.